The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network. And hello, everybody. Welcome inside the first running point of October. Yes, it's October 1st, 2024. October's full of a lot of cool things, right? Right? Oktoberfest, playoff baseball, go Royals. Starting off today, I should say, in Baltimore. Halloween time. A lot of people are excited for October, right? Playoffs right around the bend for football, volleyball tournament and draw, and soccer tournament draw will both be on Sunday. A lot of fun stuff coming up in October, and this is the first day of it. In fact, that means in a week on Monday, we'll be talking about tournament time. We'll be bringing up brackets. It's going to be a bracket show. That's going to be fun. Today on Running Point, we have a recap of everything that happened last night. As always, we'll have a player profile featured on today's show. Going to be hearing from Columbiana's Danica Hallis, a part of this great senior class that has really set the tone for a very successful program in Columbiana. It's staring down the barrel of another EOAC championship. They're trying to go back-to-back this year, and nothing seems to be standing in their way. Columbiana in full drive, though one loss this year, and it was to a non-conference opponent. So EOAC dominance is locked in for Columbiana, and like I said, they're right on track to win another EOAC championship here very soon. They're 2 games up, so it'll only take a couple more wins under their belt to get that EOAC title back-to-back for them. So we'll hear from Danica Hallis a little bit later on the show, and then, of course, we will preview what tonight looks like, all the action coming up tonight on YSN as well. Let's hop into the scoreboard first, though. The YSN scoreboard is a great and easy tool for the YSN fans to use, whether you are at one of the games or watching one of our broadcasts. Either way, you don't want to look away from the screen for too long. And the YSN scoreboard is a great and easy way to get live, updated scores from across the YSN family. Whether they be your heated rivals or your best friends, there's no better way to find out what they're doing than the YSN scoreboard. It can be found at ysnlive.com/scores. And it is proudly presented by Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs. Monday, September 30th, the final day of September. And we had a lot of results come in. Big one in West Branch. Girard goes on the road, beats the Warriors in 5. A thrilling victory for the Indians. It's a big week for them. You look at the 4 days. 4 days in a row they're going to play, all against very quality teams. West Branch last night. Tonight they have 13-win Hubbard. Then they go and play at Marlington on Wednesday, and then Lakeview on Thursday. If they get past Hubbard tonight, that Lakeview game will be a battle for first place in the NE8 and a de facto championship. It won't be clinched yet. Both teams have, whoever wins has a couple of games still to wrap up. But the way the NE8 has been going so far, no one's been able to really touch those two. So if Girard gets past Hubbard tonight, and if Lakeview takes care of their business tonight, that Thursday night game becomes as close to a championship as you can get without it being official. First place would be on the line for sure. Lakeview wins, they get the outright. If Girard wins, they'd move into a tie with Lakeview. That'll be on Thursday night in Girard. So a big win for the Indians tonight. Last night, though, as they go to West Branch and get the 5-set win. Perry beats Orange in straight sets. Perry climbing that power rankings board. They had 5 wins last week. They stay hot, and they get a win against Orange to start the new week. Beaver Local gets the sweep over Carrollton. Aaliyah Ivanko becomes a member of the 1,000 Assist Club for Beaver Local, so we want to congratulate her on that feat, and we want to congratulate Beaver Local on the win in straight sets. East Liverpool also with a win in straight sets over Salem, 3-0 the final score there. Hubbard gets the straight set victory over Brookfield, 3-0. Southern Local and Cheney doing battle. Southern all over it in a sweep. Pymatuning Valley gets the sweep over Grand Valley. Columbiana gets the sweep over Latonia. You have Lisbon. Remember they won the first round, 3-2. Heartland gets their revenge with a sweep of the Blue Devils at home in straight sets. Wyndham with the straight set victory over Lordstown. Campbell got a really big battle from Lowville. All 3 sets were competitive, but at the end of the day, they made the plays down the stretch. They got the win in 3 sets over Lowville. Louisville gets a win over Claymont, 3-1. A good bounce back for Louisville after a tough trip to Hoban on Thursday. McDonald gets the sweep of Western Reserve in straight sets. Upset in Waterloo. The 4-win, now 5-win Waterloo Vikings take down Middle Ridge in 5 sets, 3-2. A big win for Waterloo. They've been playing well. I had them last Thursday. They've been starting to find a lot of confidence and balance in that offense. I think their libero in Eddie is really good. And then their setter, another Eddie, and Breland Eddie is also starting to find her rhythm as well, spreading out that ball. I saw the ball pretty spread out on Thursday, which is good for your offense. You got the right side involved. Adriana Rebecki is obviously their biggest threat, but they have other people stepping up big time and swinging. Chrislyn Kerr getting her share of kills. So Waterloo is a dangerous team, and Middle Ridge finds that out the hard way on the road. Howland gets the straight set victory over Poland. Springfield wins in 3 over Sebring. South Range gets the 4-set victory over Ursuline, dominating the last set after the first 3 sets were pretty competitive. South Range won the first set 26-24. Ursuline came back 1 set 2, 20-20, 25-20. Then South Range just gradually grabbed momentum towards the end of the third set, winning at 25-17, and then winning the 4th set in dominating fashion, 25-11. 13 service aces on the night for South Range. They're a good serving team. They put a lot of pressure on teams. That brings their season total as a team to 188 aces. And they had a really balanced offense last night. 3 separate hitters with 8 kills. So, normally for South Range, it's the Anna Toy, doing all the work. And this night they had a balanced offense with Toy getting 8 kills, Hayden Carey from the right side getting 8 kills, and then Taylor Dato out of the middle getting 8 kills as well. Love seeing the Raiders get the middle involved. Middle blockers are so important in the flow of volleyball. If you can get your middle involved, you do a lot of special things on the outside. So South Range looked really good in this win over Ursuline. Cardinal Mooney breaks their losing streak. It was 8 straight for the Mooney, a very tough schedule. You had the likes of Crestview, Fitch, Howland, Boardman, Warren JFK, Canfield. I mean, there were just a gauntlet of teams that were coming into Mooney. But they get the win against Warren Harding in straight sets to give them a little bit of a reprieve and hopefully some momentum heading forward into the rest of their season. Conneaut gets the 4-set victory over Seneca out of Pennsylvania. So a big win for the Spartans. Garrettsville Garfield, they fall to Lake Center Christian in 4, 3-1 the final there. Newton Falls, who will be in Garfield tonight, they got the win over Maplewood, 3-1 the final score. St. John got the sweep over East in straight sets. Wellsville gets the sweep over Toronto in straight sets. And then JFK gets the sweep over Kennedy Catholic in straight sets. We go to boys soccer. Not a lot of action, just a couple of games here. as we see that Jackson Milton got the win over Heartland Christian 2-0. Lakeside falls to Pine Valley 2-1. Champion all over Brookfield 6-0. The final score there. Columbiana and Middle Ridge. It's the Clippers that get the shutout over the Rams 3-0. And then last but not least, LeBray at home against Fairview doesn't go their way. Fairview comes in, gets the win 7-2. A lot of girls' soccer games last night. Jefferson and Grand Valley getting together. It's Grand Valley with the 1-goal victory, 3-2. Lakeside gets beat by Pine Valley 2-1. Ursuline and Badger draw in a 1-1 tie. Perry versus Padua Franciscan. And it is Perry with the 2-0 win on the girls' side of soccer. We have Boardman. They're able to work to a tie to Warren Harding 2-2. Canfield and Howland. This was a AAC on the line game. Howland earns at least a share of the AAC with a 2-1 win over Canfield. They can clinch it on Wednesday outright if they're able to beat Warren Harding. Crestview falls to United 8-2, the final score there. The Eagles run rampant. Brookfield beats Liberty 4-1. We have Garrettsville Garfield. They fall to Champion 5-1. Columbia beats LeBray 10-0. Springfield falls to Southeast 1-0. Don't look now, but Southeast is 12-0-1 on the season. Very good girls soccer team out of Ravenna, and they look to come into the MVAC their first year in the conference and make a whole lot of noise. They're doing that this year for sure. Waterloo gets the win over Newton Falls 3-1, the final score there. Girard and Struthers work to a tie. Lakeview and Hubbard, they tie at no score. Poland gets beat by Niles 1-0. That's a big win for the Dragons. And then Alliance gets the better of Louisville 4-2, the final score in that one. So a big night for girls soccer. A lot of those teams will be back in action on Wednesday as they're trying to get their final prep before tournament time. Remember, the tournament draw for soccer and volleyball is going to be on Sunday. So when we come back on Monday, we will definitely know the brackets for these sports, and we'll talk about those for sure. Volleyball records are due on Wednesday, so everything that happens up until Wednesday will be considered for volleyball seedings. The volleyball seeding will still be handled by coach vote. So unlike basketball, which we'll see in the winter, which is strictly based on the Max Preps ratings, volleyball will still be handled by the coaches. Some coaches are a fan of it, some coaches aren't. We'll see how that turns out. I think the OHSA is gradually getting to a point where they will just use the rankings for Max Preps. I think they want to try it a little bit more in basketball, get it ironed out and perfected before they go, universal in all sports minus football. So for now, we see coach vote in everything outside of basketball, but I think that'll be changing in not too long because basketball last year worked pretty well. Still a few kinks that I think the OHSA needs to work out, but when they get that fixed and they get that perfected, I think they're just going to blanket it and say, coaches, you don't have to worry about voting anymore. You just have to, worry about where you want to go as far as the brackets. It's going to be really interesting. 4 district brackets through 7 divisions in volleyball. This is the first playoffs or tournaments where we'll have the elevated divisions. So we'll have 7 divisions in this volleyball tournament season. And I'm excited for the teams that, are in a much more favorable position to make deep runs. There are a lot of teams out there that were Division 4 technically, but they were a lot smaller than a lot of Division 4 teams that I think could make a big run. And there are some teams that I think are on the other end of the spectrum that were maybe big, or I should say small in D2 that are now, bigger D4 teams. It's going to be fun to see where everyone goes. D5 is going to be a monster because you got Girard in D5, you got Crestview in D5, you got Columbiana in D5. Those are all teams with at least 14 wins. And then you have, of course, the big monster in Division 5 in Lake Center, Middle Lake Catholic, sitting right there in Division 5 as well. So those 4 are probably, in my opinion, going to be the 4 top seeds in the brackets. If they don't all, if one of them doesn't go after the other, assuming that they all avoid each other, which isn't a given. We've seen 2 seeds go right after the 1 seed. That's definitely possible. But it'll be interesting to see if those 4 avoid each other, and those are the 4 top seeds in the brackets, where some of these teams decide to go. I'm looking at some of these teams like in the NE8 that are Division 5, like South Range. Do you go to a Girard team where you're familiar with them? You know exactly what you're going to get. Yes, you've lost 2 games to them, one of them in 4 sets, one of them in 3, but there are no surprises. Do you go after Lake Center? I keep calling them Lake Center Christian because we talked about their game last night. Do you go to Middle Lake Catholic, who will probably have an easier bracket overall and try to get yourself to the district championship? Do you go and attack Columbiana, who you feel like maybe you play a better schedule than, or do you go right at Crestview and say, hey, if we're going to be the best in the area, we want to beat the best in the area? That'll be a very fun idea where teams go. I think overall, though, Crestview and Lake Catholic will have probably the easier brackets overall, because I think a lot of teams are going to avoid those 2 and go into Girard and Columbiana's bracket. But we'll see. Sunday's when we all find out. The records are going to be finalized on Wednesday, so Wednesday's the last day the coaches can submit the records. We'll probably have a seeding on Saturday where all the teams are seeded, and then we'll have the bracket breakdown on Sunday, and we'll be able to talk about it on Monday. So fun times ahead on this show today. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we have a player profile of the feature from Columbiana. Danica Hallis, she'll be coming up next on Running Point, brought to you as always by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Back in a bit.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
From on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun, it all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by our good friends. You just heard from them in that break. Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. And one of the ways we do that, of course, is providing the player profiles that we get during the season and featuring them on the show. So you guys get a chance to hear them if you haven't yet. We're going to continue to do that today with Columbiana's own Danica Hallis, a part of a big senior class that has really set the tone for the whole program, looking to go back-to-back in the EOAC and make a deep tournament run this year is Columbiana. And we will hear from Danica now. And what a great interview it was. Hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did conducting it. Anthony Hartwig here, and we are back in Columbiana. Another volleyball player profile. We're joined by another senior as well, Danica Hallis. Danica, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
So senior year, the first question is always, what's it like? What's the emotions like to get through senior year and to know that it's your last ride?
It's a bittersweet feeling. We have 9 seniors this year, and those girls are like family to me. We really like to go out on the court and just cheer for everything and just play the game that we love, and we do it very well.
You 9 have been playing together for so long.
Yeah.
And you're a core group. What's this season been like, just to spend it with them and to treasure one last year on the court with them?
When I say that our bond is unmatched, those girls, are like sisters. We do everything together. One big thing I will say is the locker room before games are always so hype. We're all listening to music and we're all getting ready to go out there and hopefully to come out with a win. And it's a special feeling.
Now this might be hard because I know this Columbiana team has a lot of very high energy players, but who's the hype man, right? Who's the person that always gets you guys fired up?
I will definitely say Ava Heinrich. She goes out there and she is just a huge bundle of energy, and she always gets us girls going.
I think if anyone watches Ava play, they wouldn't be surprised by that.
Yeah.
Talk about, has it sunken in yet that you're a senior? Has the reality hit, or do you think it won't hit until towards the end of the season?
So basically it's our biggest thing is winning, and we always go into practice and work very hard for what we want to accomplish. And our coach always tells us that volleyball is a game of mistakes, and we always walk into practice and we practice how we play. So that's a big thing for us.
We know that this team has very high team goals. What were some goals that you set personally that you wanted to try to accomplish yourself before you graduated?
Yeah, so definitely EOAC, which we accomplished last year. But this year I've accomplished diversity. They have me playing outside, middle, and right side in the front row, which I've never done before, and that's been a huge thing. So from freshman year up to senior year, the diversity thing is a big thing for me, and I think I've overcome that really well.
You're playing everywhere, right? And every kind of position, although they're similar in the front row, it has a little bit of difference to it. What's it like transitioning during a match from all three?
It's definitely been a challenge, but my coaches do such a good job in practice working with me, and I'm always that player that's like, hey, I need one more rep. I need to keep going. I need to keep pushing myself through this. And the biggest thing is just, in practice before our big games, I'm like, hey, I need to get my reps in. I need to keep on swinging middle because I've never played middle before. Besides sophomore year, I did play middle, but now this year I'm playing all three. So I'm like, hey, I need one more rep. And she's like, all right, let's go. And I just keep pushing myself. So
which one's your favorite? Which one's your favorite spot? Right, middle, or outside?
Which is funny. It used to be outside, but now that I've been working in middle, it's definitely become middle, which is very surprising.
One of the things I love about getting the stats from your team is, and I tell everyone this when they're asking me about you guys, because all the coaches always ask me, what's Columbiana doing? What's they doing? It's so balanced. You have 4 or 5 girls with 6 to 9 kills a night. What does that do for this offense, knowing that one person doesn't have to go out there and get 15, 16 kills for you guys to succeed?
Yeah, we're really well-rounded. I also think that defensively our back row helps with the offense, and our setters, Cameron Perkins and Ellie Jackson, does a great job setting us up. And I do think that, being so well-rounded that us girls can just know that we don't have to depend on one person and that we could all go out there and just do our thing.
You've already said you put in the extra time for volleyball, and you play volleyball a ton. What do you love so much about it? Because you have to love it to put so much time into it.
Yeah, I also play JO, so the big thing is just the love for the sport that I developed in 6th grade playing JO. I just, never want to be off that court, and I always just want to keep working.
Was there a specific moment where you remember it going from just like, hey, I like volleyball to, okay, this is serious. I want to really work on volleyball?
I will say 7th and 8th grade year being back-to-back EOAC champions. That was when I was like, this is what I love to do, and this is what I want to keep doing.
I want to get a little reflective with you because you come into this program as a freshman. What are some differences that you see from yourself from freshman year Danica to now senior year?
Freshman year me was very timid and shy. We had a great group of seniors that year, and losing, I think there was 7. We had some big shoes to fill, and coming up now, we also have a big group, and I'm just excited to see where the season takes us now.
With such a big group, all of you guys leaving next year, how much of a importance have you put on trying to set up the next year for success as well, and trying to get those youth players as involved as possible so when you guys graduate, this program does not dip in any way?
Yeah, the Columbiana volleyball program does a great job with the little ones and us right now for the future of the program of volleyball. The one thing I will say is us seniors, we try to just set a great example and be good role models for the younger ones, and I think we're doing that pretty well right now.
Since we got you in the middle of the school day, I want to talk to you about your student part of student athlete and some of your favorite classes to study and things to learn about.
Right now I am definitely loving creative entrepreneurship with Mesos. It's a class that's involved Columbiana, and right now it was just on the news. We have a project that we're doing that's going in town in Columbiana where we're setting up a 2-story pavilion, and so the community can come together for sports and sit out there, and I think that's going to be really fun to get my into this year.
When you think of your whole schooling career, what were some classes that really made you work extremely hard to get the grades you got? What were the toughest classes in Columbiana for you?
Definitely anatomy. My teacher, Mr. Cerverco, he's also a football coach. He's really great. He's super funny. That definitely made me work and pushed me really hard, but it was a great class and I'm glad I did it.
What about the hardest tests in Columbiana? What teacher gives you the hardest tests?
I will say Mr. Cerverco in anatomy, those tests were, basically like college tests. They were practicals where you would go around and study the bones and have to know what you were learning. And I definitely will say those were really hard, but
anatomy with a clean sweep.
Yeah.
Like it. What about teachers that you think really impacted your journey throughout your schooling career? Teachers that helped you along the way?
Yeah. Mrs. Miso, she's basically like a second mom to me in school here. I'm in her class for 5 periods. She's always there for me when I need her. She's talked to me about certain things that teachers, wouldn't expect students to go to. And she's honestly one of the best role models for a teacher here for me.
When you think of the fact that you get to represent this school and you get to represent the Clippers every night, what makes you so proud that you're able to put on those colors and represent the school system in this community?
Honestly, this entire community is absolutely amazing. I mean, in the gym on volleyball games, we're pulling people that don't even have a kid on the volleyball team that are coming out to support us. And that's a huge thing to see that we're making that impact on them.
Now, on the flip side, what impact do they have on you? I mean, what kind of energy does this bring the team? We've been to your games. Student section is awesome.
Yeah.
The non-students that are listed, you just said it, the people that don't even have kids are just coming to watch what this team's about. What does that do for you guys' energy on the floor?
It honestly is game-changing. We have moms like Darby Smith, my mom, Tracy Keggy, out there passing out pom-poms to people and getting people rallied up, and Ava Heinrich just got her 1,000th dig, and that brought a huge crowd. Everyone had signs, and it brings a great energy onto the floor for us.
Now, the fact that is definitely something that is almost, I don't want to say unique to Columbiana because there are programs that get a lot of support, but very rare to see volleyball programs get as much support as you guys get. When you go on the road, I've been on a road game with you guys. What's that like to bring that community on the road and almost kind of freak people out? Like, what's this crowd coming over here to our gym for?
It's great because we know that even though we're not at our home gym, that going on the road into another gym, that our parents and student athletes coming from school, getting people out there being like, hey, like, game here, like show up and, bringing this huge student body out there too. Like it's a good feeling to know that like we got like the community behind us and going to support us no matter where we show up at.
So you guys get a good student section. What's your favorite sport to go be a part of the student section for?
Definitely football. I get really into the football games, and we always get rowdy, and just being there, especially with the new stadium now, like it's a great feeling. So
what's your favorite student section theme?
Oh, we haven't done it yet, but we just came up with Minion Night. So we're all going to dress up as minions, and I'm so excited for that.
Okay, so who do you think on the team, because I'm guessing the whole team probably going to be there, who has the best minion voice?
Oh, I'm going to give that to L Church.
All right, we're going to get her on, and we're going to put her on the spot. and then if she gets mad at us, we can blame you.
Okay.
What about we'll go best teammate kind of section. Who's the best dancer on the team?
I will give that to Landry Smith. She's always out there on the court just hitting little moves when the music's going before the game goes. So I'll definitely give that to her.
And the Columbiana DJ, they got the tunes going. So I'm sure it's easy to dance on the floor in Columbiana. Who has the best taste in music, do you think, on the team?
I'll say Ava Heinrich.
Who's the class clown, the funniest on the team?
L Church. She's so funny.
What about the one that you would trust the most to be a getaway driver? The one that can really, do a lot of special things behind the wheel?
Cameron Perkins.
Opposite. Who would you never get in the car with?
Hannah Hitchcock.
Who has the best style, like swag? The game day fit's always good.
Marin Hepler.
Yeah, I like these are quick answers. You're on fire. Who do you think is the most studious, or the one that cares about their grades the most?
Lily Hoshauer.
Who is the most locked in, serious? It's go time. Hard to get a cracked smile when it's game time.
Ellie Jackson. She's always working.
Who's the opposite? Who's like the loosest on the team?
I'll give that to Evie Rapp. She's always laughing, and she's making us laugh, and always a great time when you're around her.
That was good. I think we have a diverse answer. Everyone got a little bit of love. Gotta love it. Okay, so here we have to talk about your future. You're a senior. You're graduating. We don't want to see you go. We love covering you, but you do have to move on to bigger and better things. What is in store in your future after high school?
Yeah, I'm definitely intending on going to college. That I don't know yet, but I plan on maybe going into business or communications for a major and taking that into a career later in life.
Now, I know you said you don't know where you're going yet, but do you have an idea of do you want to travel? Do you want to stay close to home? That kind of thing?
I'm a homebody. I love this community. I love Columbiana. My brother is a freshman, so I'd like to stay, close to here to be back for his sports. And so probably not too far, but we'll see where, life takes me.
Now, no matter where you want to go, are you someone that wants to leave the nest a little bit and live on their own in college? Or do you think that you'll find some comfort in maybe commuting and being somewhere where you can be home and still go to college?
Definitely spread my wings and go a little bit far, but not too far away from home probably.
That being said, when you're living on your own, what are some day-to-day things that you think your parents do for you that you're going to have to learn how to do on your own real quick before you leave the house?
I will say that my mom and my dad just support me and always will be texting me good luck on my games, and they're always there for me when I need them the most. So, going away, not being able to go to them and see what's happening, just on a phone will be hard, but I think that's also a good thing for myself too.
What's one good home cooked meal that you're going to miss if you're not home all the time?
My mom's lemon chicken. So good.
Man, I'm sorry getting you hungry right at lunchtime. What about post game celebration meal? What kind of places do you like to go? Big win celebrating with the team.
Definitely Canes.
That's a couple of people have said that.
Yeah.
Canes are for winners, right?
Yep.
And then I also want to talk about kind of your family. You talked about your parents, but I want to talk about your family as a whole and talk about it and what makes it special to you and what makes it kind of unique in your eyes.
They've developed me into the player that I've become. They support me no matter what, no matter how many hours I'm like, hey, sixth grade me, I was like, I got to go here for, JO. And now I can drive myself, which is really nice. But they support me and made me the player that I've become. And I'm genuinely so thankful for that. And my siblings have always had my back, Ava and Dane. They've always been there for me no matter what. If I feel like I have a bad game, I go to them and they're like, you played amazing. And I'm like, thank you. They're always there for me. And I really appreciate that from my siblings and my parents.
And then as we expand on that, we always end these player profiles with giving the player the chance to kind of spin the limelight onto the people in their support system. I'm sure your village is very big. You have a lot of support. So talk about the people that you wouldn't be where you are without, and send in their shout outs and their thank yous before we get you out of here.
I would like to thank you to the entire Columbiana volleyball program, Coach Peak, Coach Martin, Coach Dangler, and Coach Wilkinson. They've done absolutely everything for us girls, and I'm so sad that this is my last season with them. I would also like to thank 7th and 8th grade Columbiana volleyball coaches for building the future of Columbiana volleyball up to high school when they come in. And then I would also like to thank my grandparents and my mom and dad and my siblings, Ava and Dane, for, making me the player that I've become. I thank them more than they've done for me. And then lastly, I would like to thank my JO coaches, Coach Casey and Coach Josh, for developing the love of the sport for me in 6th grade. And then Coach Simpson and Coach Hupp for continuing that love now.
All right, Danica, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We appreciate it a lot. Wish you the best of luck the rest of this senior season, and we hope that we get to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you again.
That was Danica Hallis from Columbiana, and another great interview featured on today's show. And what a great senior group this Columbiana Clippers team has. It's going to be one hard to say goodbye to when they graduate in a year, but when they graduate, I should say, in the spring. But definitely one that has set the hallmarks for what success means to that program. And they're going to be set up for success for a long time. So I can't wait to see what Danica has in her future, what Columbiana has in their future as they continue on their path to try to win back-to-back EOAC championships. Let's go into the scoreboard, see what's going on tonight. Columbiana will be in action. As well will be a lot of other volleyball teams and soccer teams. And we'll scroll down to the bottom here. If you're new to our scoreboard, this is how you switch days. You hit the scroll bar here, you get to the bottom, and then you can find whatever day you're looking for down here. I want October 1st, which is right there. And then you just scroll back up and look at the volleyball. A lot of it. It's a busy, busy day for volleyball teams as we run towards the postseason. Orange going to be hosting Chagrin Falls tonight. Edgewood going to be going on the road to Conneaut. We have Jefferson and Lakeside playing each other in Jefferson. Badger going to Grand Valley tonight. We have Howland going to Salem. Girard will be going to Hubbard tonight. Remember, that's 4 games in 4 days for Girard. All against teams with 13 or more victories. Boardman and Fitch, this is round 2. Boardman took a set from Fitch the first time around, but Fitch won the game in 4, so we'll see what the Spartans can do. On the road this time, Bristol going to be on the road as well. They go to Lordstown. Camel will be going to Jackson Milton. Canfield goes to Warren Harding. Champion goes to Crestwood. Columbiana will be traveling to Latonia. East Palestine goes to United. Garrettsville Garfield to Newton Falls. LeBray at Liberty tonight. Lakeview goes to Poland. Lisbon goes to Wellsville. We have Beaver Volleyball. They'll be hosting Mars, not the planet, but the high school. Southeast going to Brookfield. Southern will be going to Valley Christian. Struthers goes to Niles. Ursuline travels to East. Waterloo trying to go back-to-back and upsets as they'll face league-leading McDonald on the road. Western Reserve travels to Lowville. Beaver Local goes to Steubenville. Perry goes to Hawkins. Springfield goes to Middle Ridge. St. John will play Chalker, who does have 12 wins on the year, so that'll be a tough test for the undefeated Heralds. Wyndham goes to Bloomfield. Warren JFK goes to St. Thomas Aquinas. Hoban gets back in action. Avon Lake, a very good team that just beat Fitch over the weekend in their tournament. So another tough one for Hoban on the road. Can the Knights stay undefeated? Mohawk goes to Laurel tonight and over in PA. Boys soccer, a lot of this action tonight as well. Edgewood going to Jefferson. Pie Valley will be going to Grand Valley. South Range tries to get a win on the road at Lakeview. Perry will be hosting Open Door Christian. Boardman goes to Warren Harding. Canfield goes to Howland. We have West Branch, who will be hosting Salem in the rivalry matchup. St. Clairsville going to Beaver. Local, that's the wrong Beaver logo, so we apologize for that. Beaver Local, not Beaver. But St. Clairsville will be there. East Liverpool will be at Cambridge tonight. Bristol goes to Mineral Ridge. Carrollton goes to United. Matthews going to be hosting Badger. We have Lakeside going on the road to Brooklyn. Girard will be going to Hubbard. We have Poland hosting Niles. Hoban on the road. They'll be at University School. Orange will be hosting Gilmore Academy. Beaver, the Bobcats, will be at Hopewell. And then on girls soccer, we have 3 games in action tonight. Pymatuning Valley will go to Grand Valley. Columbiana travels to Springfield. Edgewood goes to Harvey. Let's see what will be on the network tonight when we go into our broadcast schedule. All right, pulling up the spreadsheet now. Looks like we have 3 volleyball games on tap. 4 to, I'm on the wrong week. Sorry. Looks like we have, still 3, so I'm right. 3 volleyball games on tap. Ty Bartell will be at Boardman, Austintown, Fitch. I will be at Springfield at Mineral Ridge. Eric Hughes takes Western Reserve in Lowville. Oh, we'll have another one. Gary Altizer down there will be at Wellsville, Lisbon. Boys soccer, we have the school taking part of the Perry and Lake Ridge broadcast on the boys soccer side, so that one will also be on ysnlive.com. We also have more shows, more live shows for these schools with really good athletes. South Range will be at Giangelo's. DJ Oakley will have coverage of that. Springfield at the Tigers table. Noah Doty, Steve Leslie will both be there. Tim Corso has you covered at the Golden Dawn for Ursuline content. And then Matt Romeo has you covered at the Bulldog for Poland content. All those live shows going on, and we'll have content from those live shows going up throughout the week as well. So make sure to stay tuned from that. So a lot going on. Plenty of volleyball, plenty of soccer. Those teams racing towards the postseason, trying to get their record as good as possible before tomorrow when records are due. And then we have the live shows tonight. Tuesday is the busiest night for live shows. 4 shows going on around the area. We'll have 3 more tomorrow as well. So tune in to the games, go to the games in person, go to the shows in person, whatever you're doing, making sure tonight you're supporting local athletes like you do every day. So like we do every day, I should say. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Tomorrow, 1 to 2, Scotty Mincher comes back after his week off. He'll be back to talk about whatever he wants to. We always ask Scotty what's on his mind for that day. So Scotty's going to be my sidecar tomorrow from 1 to 2. You never want to miss a moment of that show because it's always fun. We'll be back here as well. Running Point brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Thank you so much again for tuning in today.